In this video, we're going to review all of these quadrilateral definitions. If you don't have these on your notes, go ahead and pause the video and make sure that you have all the definitions. Also make sure that you have those markings for all the quadrilaterals. For example, on the kite, we have two different sets of equal sides that are consecutive. These arrows here mean parallel, and then when I see the boxes, that means that those are all right angles or 90 degrees. Those markings are especially important because no longer is this figure over here a square if we don't have any of the markings. All we can do is say that this is a general quadrilateral, but as soon as we have the markings that all sides are the same, now we can say that it's a rhombus. And if we were to show that all those angles are 90 degrees, now we can indeed say that it's a square as well. So let's look at a few examples. Some of them are going to ask us for the most specific name of a given quadrilateral. In this case, we have quadrilateral JKLMN. We see that inside of this quadrilateral, we have 4 right angle boxes or 90-degree angles. So we go over to our chart here and we see that the rectangle is the quadrilateral that has 4 right angles. This one matches the picture on the left. Now the square also has 4 right angles, but it doesn't have the tick mark showing that all of the sides are the same. So the rectangle is the most specific name for this quadrilateral. This next one, we see that we have these 2 sides that are equal in measure, and then we have these 2 sides that are equal in measure. They're not all equal to each other, but they're consecutive congruent sides. So that matches over here our kite definition, because again, we have consecutive equal sides that are congruent. In this example, we see that we have the arrowheads on this opposite set of sides, which means we have 1 pair of parallel sides. Now we see that property over here for a trapezoid. Now if I dig a little bit deeper, I see that we also have these 2 sides marked as the same. So not only is it just a general trapezoid, more specifically, it's an isosceles trapezoid because we have not just the parallel sides, but we also have these congruent sides as well in between the parallel sides. In this example, we're not given any markings, but we do know that all 4 sides are equal because they're all labeled as 10 units. If I look over here, we see that the rhombus and the square have 4 equal sides. However, this particular quadrilateral does not have any right angles marked. They could be 90 degrees, but we don't know for sure. So because of that unknown, the only one we can say specifically here is that this is a rhombus. So if we add to that last example, the right angle boxes, well then yes, now it is a rhombus and a square. We want the most specific name, however, so in this case, this would be our square. And then we have this one where we have these arrowheads across here and then arrowheads across here. So we have 2 sets of parallel sides. It looks like it might be similar to a rectangle, but we don't have those right angle boxes. So we have to just trust the markings that we're given, which are the parallel sides that are opposite to each other. And it is indeed the parallelogram that has 2 sets of parallel sides. Now let's take a look at a few examples where we're stating all the possible names for the quadrilateral. That's kind of a first clue that for all of these, we could certainly name this a quadrilateral because it has 4 sides. Then we look at the specific markings. Here we have the 1 pair of parallel sides, so that matches our trapezoid. We analyze the trapezoid to see if it's isosceles or right, but we don't have congruent sides, we don't have right angles, and so it is just a trapezoid and a quadrilateral. For this next one, let's of course start with the fact that it is a 4-sided figure, so it's a quadrilateral. Let's see what other markings we have. We have not all sides the same, but we do have consecutive congruent sides. So this one here would also be a kite. So both a quadrilateral and a kite for this one. This one looks like it could be a kite, but we don't see any markings, any angles that are congruent. It's nothing special, so it's just a general quadrilateral. In this last example, we see all sorts of markings and labels on this quadrilateral. So let's see if we can break it down based on what we're seeing. first off, we know that it's a quadrilateral. It has 4 sides. Next, we see that we have this set of sides that are parallel and this set of sides that are parallel. So we have 2 sets of parallel sides, which makes it a parallelogram. We also see 4 right angle boxes. That classifies it as a rectangle. We also see that we have 4 sides congruent, or all sides equal, which makes it a rhombus. And last but not least, because it is both a rectangle and a rhombus, it is also a square because it has 4 right angles and all equal sides.